as some of you longtime subscribers, not that there's many of you, know, I am a stickler for shifter feel. Now the BMW is pretty good, but there's this definite weird, like it's precise. It's not sloppy, very minimal play because it's not a cable driven shifter like we had in the Boxster, but there's this weird vagueness to it. And that's because to keep it nice and quiet and BMW-ish, they use like a foamy rubber bushing. There's three contact points. There's two and a fork in the front, which are fairly decent, so we'll leave those for now. And there's one in the back, which is a large, is like a foam urethane rubber bushing that a fork goes into. Very similar to the Subaru one that we did on the WRX. So what we have, I bought one of the Turner Motorsport that replaces that rear bushing, and that is a big poly bushing on that. So just needs a little bit of lube when we install it, but that's it. That's all they send you. It's pretty simple to do. So I've seen, so I've heard, so I've read, but we'll get up underneath because this is an underneath job and do it. It's only 2 bolts to remove and replace, but we might have to move a little bit of the heat shielding around. But this is a OG, this is the pre-facelift M2, so we'll see what has to be done there, because I've seen a couple videos of the competitions and you just got to move a little heat shield back. So we'll start by... All right, up underneath the car, that's the front of the car there. Now what we need to get to is just behind this heat shield. So we need to remove, we'll slide it out of the way anyway. Guys slide it back, some guys take it out completely. There's a bunch of 10 mil socket nuts, either plastic or metal, and apparently, yeah, there's one up here, and you see that that's a 13 millimeter bolt, but everything else is 10. So we're just going to quickly get on our power ratchet and unscrew all these. So yeah, there's only a few of them around. Not too many, but yeah, we just need to get up and behind here. So with our standard exhaust, because we don't have aftermarket, hopefully we can just slide it back. Otherwise, we got to undo, keep going back, this brace, which is no big deal. It's just a couple hex Allen key sockets. So we'll just undo that and move that out of the way if need be. And then there'll plenty of room to get back, because that's kind of the only thing that would possibly block it for now. All right, now something that's a little bit, I don't know, funny on mine. It's a fairly low K car. I mean, it's not even just 15,000 Ks on this thing, but the heat shield was almost like it was glued on in spots, like really stuck on. So anyway, just needed a little bit of extra. Now, I have yet to work on a heat shield and not cut myself, so I'm being very careful. And I do have gloves on, which I'm going to put on in a minute here, because yeah, just expecting to cut myself any second. Even the little flat metal nuts, even these things are bloody sharp. So yeah, be prepared to cut yourself and have, oh, there we go, have some gloves. So now I've got that all popped off and loose. Am I able to get it out? I don't know. I haven't taken all the heat shields off all the sides, so I might not, but let's see if I can wiggle it off. I think the best bet is just to undo the brace at the back and try to get it off, because yeah, without removing all the plastic shielding, all this black stuff, it's gonna be a pain. So I'm gonna go get my little hex set and I'll just whip this off, because yeah, it's only 6 little bolts and that won't take long to put back on either. I'll take these out. It's just a 6 mil. So yeah, they're not in there very tight. Put on the power. Now with that removed, we should be able to just slide this back. Okay, I can see it up the top. I got to remove another. I got to loosen off. I don't think I have to remove it. This black carpety bit, because I just need to get up. It's almost right up above where it is, but I can't. Don't think this is going to go down any further. No. far as that's going. Okay, so we'll have to go grab the set and see what size that is. Looks like an 8. No biggie, but yeah, we just got to get up in here. I'll show you where. Wolf, can we see it? See the metal arm there? There it is. Okay, see that fork? And there's a, see if I can zoom in. Okay, see that there? It's focused, that's what we're taking out. So that's the rod from the shifter selector that goes back into the bushing. So we need to get in there and remove that. There's just a bolt on either side. It's gonna be very hard to film. I think I'm just gonna have to do it because I'll pretty well do this blind. So I don't know how I'm gonna get a camera in there, but that's it. We're gonna have to go in with an E10 on a wobble. Anything notable, I'll talk about it, but it should be pretty straightforward. Just have a look and see that black bushing and the factory one. That's kind of got a point forward, so there's a wedge, the replacement one's got a bit of a little thing forward on it, so it's going to go that direction as well. Alrighty, as I thought, that was an 8. I'll take that one off, and there's another one a little bit further up, another 8 as well. Okay, so that's a little 8 meter, that's a screw. Gotta remember all this, and then further up over here, there's another 8. So I think just to get a little bit more room, because this piece is pretty stiff because it's got this neck duct in it, I'm going to remove that as well. And that is another screw. Okay, so that means plenty of room to get up inside now. Okay, now let's have a look. There it is. There we go. See it? There's the arm, the shifter arm. There's the bush. There's an E10 on there. There we go. Quick zoom. And then just on the other side of the shaft, can't see it, but there's another E10 there. So, okay, well, we'll start on doing these guys. Gonna have to trust me that I'm actually doing it because there's no way I can film up in there and do this at the same time. That's okay. Once you get on it, it's pretty easy. It's barely even in there. It's just a little more than hand tight, to be honest. The time to do this would be when you're getting transmission fluid done, because this panel has to come off anyway. So if you're doing your transmission fluid, do this with it. Gotcha. There's one out. Now I need to get the other one. I can't see. Okay, so what I've done, I've gone in with my other hand and got it kind of just sitting on there. And then I can go in with the ratchet, find it, put it back together, and take it out because, yeah, without being able to see it, it's a bit tricky. Not too hard, though. Okay, it took a few goes just to get the angle right, but because of the wobble, but we got it. Now I'm just trying to, I got it so it's finger loose, just trying to get it little tiny turns, my fingertips. I don't know how I'm gonna put this back in, but anyway, so far it's better than the WRX bushing. They were brutal. Oh, some of them were. Okay, there we go. Boop, boop, number 2. So put those aside because we'll be putting those back in. Alrighty, bushing is loose. Reaching up, there's my hand, that's it there, on focus. And it should just slide off the back, and it does. Bloop. Bushing is off, so that pointy part, yeah, that went towards the front of the car. So our Turner Motorsport is similar. Anyway, let's look at that. That is just, well, that's this part here is so soft. That's like a school book eraser soft. So there we go. That's why we're so mushy in some shifter feel. All right, we'll put that in the bin. there's a replacement. So that's the part that points out. So that'll go towards the car. So it's going to go in and on. I don't know if I can film this, but let's give it a go. All right, now I've greased it up. I just used I had some lithium bushing grease there from way back. So I put a little bit of that in there. I can see the end. That is a much firmer fit. I think I might get some grease and grease the whole rod actually. Because it's pretty stiff going in. Oh, she's tight. That's kind of a weird angle. All right, it took a minute of tug of war, but it's in there. You can see it's all lined up. Now what I did, because it's so tight, I greased it up, but you need to like twist it and push it at the same time. And it took a little while, but it's on there and it's in the right spot. So now we can get those bolts kind of threaded in half finger tight as soon as I degrease myself. I've managed to move the heat shield further back. Every few minutes I seem to be able to move it a little bit further back, but must just be bending and stuff. So anyway, there we go. We've got the bolts going in. Well, it's in. These bushings are always a bit of sometimes a tricky one. Wobble joints are always a bit of a tricky one because they can't go straight. Anyway, we're on top tip. Get that heat shield back as far as you can. Second tip, use a little bit of grease. So you should be using that anyway. And yeah, just reach around one side with one hand, one side to the other, get it lined up and get those threads started, crank it down. Anyway, pretty simple job. It's definitely not hard, but yeah, just got to put all these heat shield screws back in, slide it into place, and then we can go test it out. But that should be a massive improvement considering how soft that original stock one was. So yeah, anyway, I bought this from Turner Motorsport. You can look them up. It's a pretty easy fix, and yeah, we'll take it for a test run in a few minutes here. Just finished putting everything back together. Probably nothing worth mentioning other than just make sure that the heat shield where you've might have bent it a bit is not touching your exhaust. Other than that, I think underneath we're done. Now we'll hop in the car and just see how that shifter feels. Now I'm gonna ask you for a favor. It's not a big one, but to justify me doing these car videos to the missus, can you please just like the video? I mean, you don't need to subscribe, that's fine. But if you found it useful, remotely entertaining, just somewhat interesting, just hit the like button and I can justify my existence and my time and money spent on toys to the missus. That's it. Now back to the show. Let's hop in and have a feel. We're still up in the air, so we're not gonna do for a drive, but oh yeah. That's what we wanted. That's the feel we want. Doesn't have this mush, like there's this weird vagueness to it before. Yeah, not anymore. All right, cool. Now, that would be always one of my best rated mods if you can improve your shifter feel. Did it on the Porsche. That was amazing when we did it with the numeric shifter. Just like a rifle bolt that they always describe. It's fantastic. Oh my gosh. BMWs have a great shifter feel, from old ones especially. New ones not so much because of the bushing. Now let's have a look at that bushing again and I'll show you why. Here's the stock shifter bushing. I mean, it's a bit lighter, okay, I'll give you that. But it is just soft, really, really soft. Now, don't say this is worn out because this car has, what, 15,000 kilometers on it. But that is just absolute, just basic rubber. It feels like a school eraser rubber. Yeah, so you see how much it moves? That is why your stock shifter in your M car, if you have a manual, which I hope you do, because I'm a manual elitist, yeah, it's crap. So that's why it's crap. This is so soft. Replace it. There's a few other ones out there, I think. Super Pro, one of the other bushing companies make one, but yeah, I used the Turner Motorsport. It was quick and easy to get, to ship it from the States to Australia quickly. But yeah, and it wasn't the cheapest thing, but I got it done, and that shifter feel is important to me. So there you go. That's why your shifter feel in the manual modern M car feels like crap. Take the car out for a run now that we've done the shifter bushing. Straight away, feels more notchy. Okay, so there's a few must-dos when you do your car, I find. This is a must-do for this car. Yeah, this has improved the driving experience. So, yep, I would be doing this one of your first mods. Might as well, because you're going to appreciate it for every day you've done it. Yeah, look, if you got a manual F chassis car, I'm sure this works for on all the F chassis, not just the M3, M4, M2. Do this. That's a night and day difference there. Just gets rid of that slop. It's something I can't really measure, but you can feel. Something that I always felt with this car was always just a little bit crap. So this is now less crap. This changes it enough you want to spend the money. It took me probably about an hour, including all the filming, to get all this done and put it into the car. 100% worth it. I got two buddies with manual M2s. I'm going to be sending them this video straight away because they're going to need to get this in their car. Okay, just back from the first test drive. Things are kind of moving a bit more. Now listen. You can hear a bit more of the shifter noise. Look, if you have remotely modified your car, you won't care. If you bought this instead of a 7 Series BMW because you wanted super, super quiet, you might go, oh, it sounds so notchy. But for me, that is great. It's a manual gearbox. Makes a bit of noise, but it's not crunching. It's just the noise between. But the feel is just awesome. So, yeah, that's a must-do. That is a must-do modification if you got a manual F car, for sure.